Well, 1 year on from the eruption in Tonga, a new video has emerged the moments when the waves began to hit.
In the weeks that followed, much needed international aid was hampered when COVID-19 arrived at the same time.
As Isabel Ewing reports, the biggest explosion on Earth in 140 years caused few casualties, but the damage to Tongans' mental health is ongoing.
When the first deceptively small waves arrived at Tonga's shores, people had minutes to flee to higher ground before the tsunami hit. Tuifalinya Finau and her family had no time to think, leaving everything behind.
Small car, we all inside. And when the people come, ran with the baby, and I said, bring it. I got 4 children in me. And you know, my children here at the back, they said, hey, bring it to me. And so we I don't know how we call it.
4 babies on her lap in this tiny car.
That's the tsunami's car.
A relative has gifted them a truck since, but 11-year-old Marta still has nightmares.
Livia. She said she was afraid.
She reminds her mum to park the truck facing towards the road.
Always reminds me, Mommy, did you return that truck to face to the front? Why? Because when the tsunami will go, get ready to go.
Just 4 deaths were linked to the tsunami in all of Tonga, but Health Minister Saya Piukala says the injuries from that day are mostly unseen.
And I don't think any Tongans will ever forget.
Because everything came at once.
A volcanic eruption, the tsunami, the ashfall, and 2 weeks later, the COVID-19 arrives.
Efforts to deliver aid were delayed already. Ash in the seawater caused boat engines to die, COVID making access even harder.
Once we are hit with any natural disaster, say for instance a tropical cyclone, we get to receive people within 48 hours or so.
Instead, communities were cut off for weeks in unimaginable conditions.
With all these dead animals and no proper water supply for people, proper sanitation. That was a huge challenge for us.
Tuifalinya shows us what they returned to after the tsunami, a blanket of ash, mud and debris that took 2 months to clean up.
We can't believe my house is there. Yeah, we think my house is lost.
These graves, including those of Tuifalinya's in-laws, are about 100 metres from the beach. The gravestones were swept away by the tsunami and they've now been rebuilt by the locals with piles of sand. Temporary fixes in a landscape that has largely recovered. But everyone has a story from that day, and memories like this will likely never fade.
Isabel joins us now. Isabel, great story. It's obviously still so raw for the people of Tonga. Is Tonga better prepared now for another disaster like that?
That's right, Mike. As I mentioned there, every single person we've spoken to has a remarkable story to tell, whether it's the memory of those enormous explosions rattling their eardrums, or the owner of the hotel that we're staying at who supplied that footage you saw at the end there, wondering if the next wave would go over the top of his roof. Now, authorities have said they've learned a lot from this experience, even down to the simple things, the ashfall that was raining down. They didn't know whether that would make the drinking water unsafe. They learned during that time they could boil it and it would be okay. Now, the tsunami siren now is activated. It wasn't this time last year due to COVID delaying the technicians getting here. But the most important thing here is that people remember that day. They remember the signs in the preceding days, the smell of sulphur on the breeze, the strange behaviour of the water, and they know what's coming.
Isabel Ewing live from Tonga. Ngā mihi nui.